Hey my beautiful people, it's your boy Tony, aka Chef Tony, and we're in the kitchen because it's an episode of Cooking with Tony. You know how it is. People don't understand what the hell I eat as a vegetarian, and I know for vegans, I know you get that question all the time. So this is a high protein breakfast meal, and I'm going to show you how to cook it step by step. But first off, let me introduce you to something that I just recently found out myself. It's called high protein TVP. It's textured vegetable protein. It is made out of soy. I know there's a whole situation about soy and people staying away from soy, but this right here tastes knocking. You get a whole 12 grams of protein from a quarter of a cup. It also only has 2 milligrams of sodium per quarter of a cup and 0 trans fats, 0 fats, very low cholesterol. Let me show you step by step right now. First, you want to start off by putting some oil in your pan. Get that swirling, get that swirl. Jesus, horrible. Okay, stick on there. Alright, next you would want to have some eggs. If you want to go vegan and not use eggs, then go for it. First off, let me turn on this heat because we need the heat up in here. But I use 2 eggs as a vegetarian. I love eggs. So let this cook for a little bit. Alright, now you want to make sure that your eggs are like a very soft consistency. You just scramble it up. That's the way I do it. You can always have it any other way you want, but I cut them up into pieces. Now you want to add your TVP high protein. Remind you that this is 12 grams of protein for a quarter of a cup, and this makes a lot of food. You may think it doesn't, but a quarter of a cup makes so much food that sometimes I have to share it, especially if you have eggs. Usually I would do like a half a cup when I first started off, and it would be insane. It could probably feed like a family of 3. Just add that in the mix there. It may not look like too much, but trust me, it's crazy. Just mix that up a little bit. We're already at 24 grams of protein from the 2 eggs and this TVP here. It tastes kind of like a beef type food. I don't know. Some people say it tastes like rice. I think it tastes like beef, especially if you put some sauce on it. I think it tastes like beef to me. So let that cook for a little bit. Now, as that is cooking, I have some basil and I have some yellow and red peppers. So this basil I actually got from my Arrow garden. You could check that out by clicking this little thing here. I have a whole playlist of my Arrow garden adventure. You get basil for so much cheaper than you would at a grocery store if you actually plant it and grow it yourself. And Arrow garden, it makes it completely easier for you to even do that. This is not a sponsored video, but hey, maybe I'll get sponsored one day. So just add that in there into the mix. Swish it around once again. Now I also have some very interesting things for you vegans out here. Yeast. Yeast does somewhat taste like cheese, and I've tasted it. I've heard so much about it that says it tastes like cheese. It could be a substitute for cheese, but I don't want to gas your head up too much and say that, oh yeah, this is going to be a great cheese tasting product. But it does somewhat have a little subtle taste. So I use a little bit of this, and as in a little bit, I use a lot. So just sprinkle that on there as it is cooking. Gives it some flavor. Has a bunch of vitamin B's and vitamin A and a bunch of other good stuff that vegans need and vegetarians need. So yeah, I put a lot in there. I'm still not done with it though. The next thing that you would need, oh yeah, also an added note. You could put kale. I used to put kale in there. I don't have any kale for you guys today, but kale definitely works out. I love kale. Any other green that you want to use, you don't necessarily have to use yeast as well. You could use cheese if you want. Now we got some black beans. Black beans give you a bunch of protein as well. And you get that fork. Get some beans in there. Now you could turn down the flame. I usually keep it on medium flame. I should have told you that earlier. But if you make eggs, you should know how to basically make this. Next, I use this seasoning here. Total seasoning. It is very delicious. I kind of put a lot on there too. You could use any seasoning you want. Black pepper, garlic powder, whatever. But this has basically everything in it. Black pepper, garlic powder, salt. So I just use that. Gives it a very, very good taste. Switch it around again. Smelling really good. I wish you guys could smell it. Add a little bit more. Don't want it to be bland. Another thing is, I used to cook this with a sauce. And if you do cook it with a sauce, I don't necessarily recommend it because it does make it a little bit more chewy, but it does give you a more smoky flavors. Like if you use what's it called, the steak sauce. If I use steak sauce on there, it gives it a more beefy taste. But make sure you cook it to where it doesn't cook too much, because then it will start getting dry and you don't want that dryness. So I'm gonna put some more yeast on there. And voila, this is how it should look. Kind of like a beefy stew with some eggs in it if you want eggs in there. It smells great. You could put it on a flour tortilla, you could put it on bread, you could mix it with some pasta, you could do anything you want, anything your heart desires. But it tastes amazing. Now this is the point where I put the sauce on. We got this honey barbecue sauce right here. It's really the easiest way for you to get a lot of protein in your day, especially if you use a whole cup or even a half a cup. You will definitely get at least a good 40 grams of protein. Right now this is about 30 grams, and that's all you have to do. It only takes about 10 minutes to make. I put it on some bread, put my sauce on top, and mind-blowing, amazing. Got me very full, and now I'm ready for my lunch. So I hope you like, comment, subscribe for more of these cooking videos, for more of my general life and everything beyond the threshold videos. Infinite love, infinite peace always. Greatly appreciate that.